Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Gamerverse Psylocke vs. Thanos. I picked this up at Target this morning, so depending on when you're watching this, I picked it up today. And maybe if you're watching it later, you're like, hey, how did you pick this up? It's been out of stock for 2 years. You guys get the idea. I wasn't sure about it. I really wanted the Psylocke. I really didn't care for the Thanos. I saw it in person, and I was like, oh, breaker I had in hand. I needed to get this. So anyway, here we are. We're going to take a look at it. We're going to take a look at the Psylocke. We're also going to take a look at the Thanos, compare them, fight them, and do all that good stuff. So there we go. We can see the kind of like the game in the background. You can see she has an alternate head, 3 different hands. We have Thanos, he's a big buck, a bunch of different effects right there. We're gonna love to see how these actually work here. All right, on here, we have Psylocke in her little fighting stance. On this side, we have Thanos. And for people that are wondering, there is the barcode if you are wondering. All right, and on the back, again, they do this a lot like the Street Fighter from Jada. And let's be honest, I think this is what they're kind of going for. All right, so here we have Psylocke, Thanos. I don't think Thanos is going to do very much. I think he's actually kind of cool to have the Thanos copter version. And if you know Thanos copter, you really need to get this. And I'm not talking about the comic. I'm talking about the Instagrammer Thanos copter. So check him out if you haven't. But anyway, let's get into this. I really don't want to talk too much and see this. I want to open this up because toys are fun. Open them up, have fun with them. But before we do, if you like this type of content, you like when I drop a Marvel Legends, please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a Marvel Legends review. Alright, so here we have these figures out. You can see I got some other Marvel Legends. I have an older Rogue here, which is still a really good Rogue. I got the Age of Apocalypse Gambit, and then I have Maximum Hulk right there, and obviously behind it you can see some G.I. Joe figures. Matter of fact, I went looking to get this guy to have a Marvel Legends and didn't even realize I had the Xavier behind it that's sitting on clearance right now. So quickly we'll start off with Thanos because that's the one that no one really cares about, and I don't think anyone really was clamoring for him. But anyway, this is the Thanos copter Thanos. Looking at it, I think it's actually pretty cool to have like an older figure or an older design. I don't think this is what they use too much anymore. But we'll find something that we can do with them. So quickly, looking at this sculpt, that head sculpt actually looks really good. You look at those like menacing teeth right there. You got that really distinct chin of his. He's got the horns, the tuner fork, whatever you want to call it. Some nice paint just going down the back. And again, he's wearing a not a head shield. Like a hood. I don't know why I can't think of that. But looking at those eyes, the teeth there, I mean, I think that looks pretty good. This is fairly soft, so it's pliable. So it's not like it's hard. It's not going to always be in the way. Building off this really big buck, again, single jointed elbows, I believe. All right, and then he's going to have double jointed pinless knees, okay? So not too much here. Just nice and straight across. You have the belt here, some nice looking abs, nice looking back right there, which is what I'm planning on going to train once I finish this video here. Some nice developed legs. Again, that guy has been doing some major squats, but with that type of weight, again, I think it's kind of assumed that you'd have big legs like that. All right, and then you can kind of see his gloves or his gauntlets, whatever you want to call them. Again, they can look, they are ready to smash. All right, and then he does come with his Infinity Gauntlet that has all the stones, and he's ready to snap. So I like this here. And again, when you look at it, the paint looks good, and again, they're on all of them. So just this in general, you can do so many different shots with it, which I think will be a lot of fun. All right, Thanos here. As for his articulation, he can look up that far, and he can look down that far. Maybe he can look up further. Nope, he can look. All right, he can look side to side. kind of tilt his head a little bit, kind of get that dog look when they're inquisiting, being a little bit inquisiting about things. There's his T-pose, which is actually really good. And people always ask, like, who cares about a T-pose? I mean, we should be able to lift our arms up. There's your bicep swivel, I think. So he has a bicep swivel, but man, that thing is... He swivels more at the shoulder. There you go. And then to not have pinless elbows, he's going to get a bend like that. So this is like a 45 degree. This is, you know, again, in my opinion, a little unacceptable. Again, Maximum Hulk doesn't really have it. All right. And again, it takes away a lot. Ooh, hand came off really easily. But it does, you know, come off, or it doesn't really bend very much, which is, again, in my opinion, very disappointing. So you can see how easy the hand came off. All right. So the rest are going to swivel. They do go in. He has an ab crunch there, and he has an ab crunch. You can look back that far. Again, that's, yeah. His Jean-Claude Van Damme is right there. He has the thigh swivel. Boot cut's actually pretty good, over 90 degrees right there, especially for as big as those arms are. I'm sorry, his double knee bend. I don't know why I said boot cut. He has no boot cut, which is crazy. Then he just has his ankle rockers. And he also has, he has holes there in case you want to use a stand. If you can't stand this figure without a stand, that's on you. All right, so let's kind of pop on his Infinity Gauntlet. So does this thing come off? Now this is all molded together. So now let's be honest. This guy, other than when fighting, if you have him on a shelf, I think everyone's going to have him just kind of standing here. Now, how much we can bend this elbow, I mean. If you kind of spin it upside down, it's actually about the same. So I think the best thing here is just to have him snapping his fingers. Now, quickly, before we get into Psylocke, this is your Maximum Hulk. And you can see he is much larger than him. Again, they wanted to fit this in to fit in with the Gamerverse style. That does make sense. Here's a Marvel Legends Gambit. And again, you can see how much bigger he is. Now we're going to put you to the side because Thanos, people really came for this. She's the star of the show. And yes, before anyone asks or says anything, we know the reason why she or he was put in a pack with her. They want to sell a 2-pack. People aren't really buying this, I don't think. There will be some, yes. But this is what people want. So, do I understand what they're doing? I do. Do I like it? Personally, no. Do I understand it as a corporation? I do. Alright, so I always like to start off with the accessories. And there's a bunch of cool little accessories. So, here we have some, the piece that's going to go over her face. So, this is when she's creating her psychic abilities. Look, they kind of pinched it. It'd be interesting how that... It must go on because of her hair. Here's her her swords that she creates, or at least one. And then she has these effects. And again, they look real nice. They're translucent. Okay? Very flexible. Now, I was looking at them. Again, I was looking at them trying to figure out exactly how they go on. And we're just going to get the joke out of it. And this is, you take this and you do, 2 in the pink. So, but she does come with like an open hand where I would assume she's creating some sort of psychic ability. And then here's the 2 that she's going to use, that you're going to use for this. And then we plug this onto her fist hands. All right. As for her alternate head, here she is, very angry. The eyes look really good. Good eyebrows, an angry looking teeth gritting mouth just kind of sticking out there. And I love the purple. The purple just, I've always liked girls with purple hair, I'll just say it. But the purple highlights through it look absolutely awesome. And that face is really good. I mean, just quickly looking at these face sculpts, they kind of put them on par to what, and again, I know one is supposed to be hand painted, what Mythic Legions is doing. They put out some really good female looking figures, and I think that these figures look awesome. So looking at her here she has her more stoic face. She's clearly angry, but not rage angry, okay? Same thing with the hair. You get the purple highlights and all the strands going through it. I mean, it really gives it a feel that it is, like real hair. Eyebrows look good, nice eyes, her lips together with some lipstick, a good nose, and you can even see like little, just looking at those eyebrows, I mean, you can just say like, this woman is not too happy. She's pretty mad at this point. All right. She has her leotard on. All right, so there we go. Nice breastises. She has her two little, I always like to call them the Ultimate Warrior bands going, and then she has these nice long gauntlets, or whatever you want to call them. And then they're held in because they're going to strap in underneath one finger. She has a little X belt here going down her legs. Again, she has her little straps, big thigh highs, and no, nothing like shoelaces or anything. Nothing like you see in a G.I. Joe Classified. As for her articulation, she can look down, and well, she can't really look up because the hair gets in the way. Head kind of looks side to side. She can look that way and that way that much. There is her T-pose. Her bicep swivel. Pinless double elbows. Her hands, we'll be taking those things off. Alright. And then she has these butterfly joints, which I would say those cross over pretty damn well. And if you're wondering what the butterfly joint is, that's it right there. It allows it to butterfly across. So I might have to do a little bit of work on this one here. But they do cross over pretty well. So if you want to have her holding a sword or something like that, I mean, they do give you the option to hold stuff. You can. This hand obviously does not. I'm trying to think. It seems like it should be, the way that it's cut, it seems like it should be a little bit better. But unfortunately, I guess it does cross over. So if you had another hand that you want to put on here, you can definitely make her holding it. All right, she has this, the belly dancing, or as, that's what I always like to call it, the belly dancing right here. And then she has the ab crunch right down at the bottom. So I thought she was supposed to be on the super articulated buck. I'm trying to look up at that. So she should get some good articulation. I mean, her look is awesome. There's her Jean-Claude Van Damme. No drop down hips. She can sit down. So if she needs to sit in a vamp, if you want to put in a stinger, something like that. Thigh cut right here, which is an awful, awful break. I mean, it's not the... I mean, it's the boot cut, or the, I'm going to say, the thigh cut, and that is an awful looking break. I almost don't even, I mean, I'm not going to turn it like that unless it's so slight that you can't tell when you take pictures. Double pinless knees. And then she has her ankle rockers, and no boot cut. I'd rather have a boot cut, but I guess what can you do? Now, as for swapping things out, let me pop her head off here. That big ball joint. I wish, I really wish the Classified would have stuck with the bigger joint. Every other company does it that size, and for some odd reason, Classified said, hey, hold my pop, I'm going to change this. Alright, so there's the angry face. As for the hands, well, first off, I'll show you this one right here. It looks like it pops on. And I will say, I did quickly pop on this just to see how it's going to fit. So here's her her sword that she creates, which I think does look pretty good. It does make sense. Maybe we can put it on this hand also. Looks like we can do it on either hand. So maybe she's going to use this one. She's going to punch with that. I don't care. You do whatever you want. It's your toy. Pop these off here. Put on the two finger. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry about that joke earlier. If you're still watching, please take a second. Hit that like button. All right. So, there's different places, it looks like, where you can kind of throw these on here. Not the easiest when you're doing it on camera and trying to just figure it out. But I like to show you guys exactly... I like to show you exactly what something is like out of the box, all right? So these do open up. At least the other one did. Kind of opens up. So you can kind of figure out exactly how these are going to go on. But they look like they're the same. I'm trying to see if they're the exact same. Yeah, these are the exact same. So they should go on, well, maybe they're a little bit different. It's hard to say. I mean, it looks like they're supposed to be the same. This one is molded down. Yeah, they're the same. Got the little pieces up there. So they should go on either hand. All right, so I don't know if you want to open it up. And again, I'm showing you just based on brand new, out of the box. Not everyone wants to go through and take a look at BBTS and other places that are selling it, trying to figure out exactly, you know, what it's going to be and how you're going to put these things together. So, yeah, I don't know. That doesn't... They did awesome pictures, I know that. And here I am struggling trying to get any of this to look right. So, I do apologize for that. She does have these here. Alright, and that's going to plug on. I believe Kitty Pryde had these. Is that who came with this? I'm not a huge Marvel Legends guy. It goes only on this one. They should go on. And I thought they go on this way. This is your angry look. So maybe this is the only one that's supposed to get it. Just goes like that. She kind of does the Xavier right there. So, very interesting, I gotta say that. Alright. Trying to get it to stand. That's my biggest thing, is how to figure stand. I don't use stands. Alright. Some of these figures will stand absolutely amazingly. Some not so much. This one here, can we get her on one foot? That's always my my biggest thing. And I know people don't think that people stand figures on 1 foot, but we do, and sometimes they'll stand there forever. And if you don't believe me, there's Mutt who's been on 1 foot for months now. She was on 1 foot for minutes, or seconds, shall I say. But you can get her on 1 foot. Not that bad. All right. But figuring out all these effects, and I think I'm going to pause this for a second. And then I'm going to come back. I'm going to go look at some of these. All right. So let me... It looks like you're really supposed to open these up. And this is not something, in my opinion, that is decent for a review. I mean, they're showing that like this hand is really... I mean, some have it exactly how I had it, how she's just kind of swinging it, all right? And then I've seen it where it's completely engulfed in her hand. So you're really going to have to play around with this. So this is the point where when I look at a review, and again, I'm trying to show it off here. So I think maybe like her hand's going to go through here. so she can kind of swing it. And it seems like, well, this is actually backwards, but either way, you kind of get the idea here that there's just some things that, you know, they're giving you these special effects here, but sometimes you're not going to be able to show them off, at least for me. Now, maybe you're watching somebody else where they seem to fit better. Maybe they showed it off a little bit better. But they're nice to give you all these special effects, but are all of them going to work as well as we were hoping? So I think that's about all that I can really say. As for her size here, we stand her up. First, we'll kind of throw her up and compare her to her counterpart, Thanos. You can see exactly how big he is. Got this rogue figure, and she's a little bit taller, but that's because she has extremely big hair. Next to Gambit. You can see he is a little bit taller, and I think that's how it should be. And then we'll take our Maximum Hulk, who is such a good figure. I don't care what anyone says. I've had so much fun with this figure. And she goes up right to the middle of his back there. So again, this is the figure that everyone wanted. It seems to be a decent figure. The sculpt looks awesome. I don't think there's anything wrong with the sculpt of this Thanos and what it is, but I'm not naive enough to know, or I'm not naive enough to not know that they put her with him because they wanted to sell a 2-pack, and knowing she would sell like crazy, but he wouldn't. But either way, they're probably getting exactly what they wanted. People buying this just for her. Let's wrap this up. Oh, and one last thing that I totally forgot. How do they compare to the Jada Street Fighter? This is what a lot of people are going to be using to do photography. And you can see here's Chun-Li. All right, she obviously has some, I would say, beefier thighs. But looking at the two figures, I think they actually pair pretty well with each other. And there goes Ken just knocking everyone down. And then we take Ken here. Who cares? Oh, here goes all the figures. Again, she's smaller. He's built more, you know, again, more video game accurate. But I think they complement each other pretty well. There is no doubt that this is one of the reasons why they started doing it, right? Marvel vs. Capcom. It just works. All right, so there you go. That is your Psylocke Thanos Gamerverse 2-pack. And I do apologize for anyone that's like, oh, what kind of reviewer are you? You didn't even get this stuff properly. I get it. That's the whole point, that I'm trying to show you firsthand what it's like. Sometimes it works out really well. And when I make mistakes, and you can go watch my Maximum Hulk video, I made mistakes. And I went on Instagram and I apologized and actually showed, hey, what I said it couldn't do, it did. So for these two figures, I actually think they're pretty good. I think she looks awesome. I'm a little underwhelmed with the articulation in the Buck. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. He has a very limited range of articulation. The effects they give, pretty cool, but trying to figure out, like, because I know the reason why they're probably tricky to work out is because they're going to be used with multiple types of figures, not just the female figures. Him with his Infinity Gauntlet, actually pretty cool. So it's up to you. I did find these at Target. If not, I don't know if they're available anywhere else. I don't really know. I went on Hasbro Pulse. I couldn't find them. So I don't know if these were just like a pure Target exclusive. If it is, it's going to make a lot of people mad, which they already are. But I'm going to get out of here. I spent a lot of your time, and you spent a lot of your time watching a Marvel Legends video with me. And I appreciate it. So please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a Marvel Legends video. Now, don't go anywhere. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a link to another Marvel Legends video there. And here's a playlist of all the Marvel Legends stuff that I've done. Take care.